Just to make it 28-3. Arthur Blank loving it. Up by 25. Toss to White. He's in. What a comeback.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the 28-3 podcast. We are back in studio. Feels like it's been a while.
Yeah.
You got yourself a nice little tan.
Went to the beach and apparently I've stayed in the sun since.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I
There's
tan
a glow about you.
I am tan, rested, and ready, Max.
There you go.
Here we go.
Well, I guess we should start off by saying a late happy birthday to you.
Thank you. I'm a man and I'm 40.
Well, we got you a little gift.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we did.
Coming in hot.
Coming in real hot there, buddy. Scoot back a little bit.
Oh, Jesus. What does it scoop back
It's
for?
big.
No way. Get the fuck out of here. This isn't mine.
That is yours. I don't know if it's going to fit, but we'll see.
What?
We have not cleared it for home.
Y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. Hold on.
So you gotta wear it all season.
Let's see. Could have given you my helmet size from my playing days.
Yeah, they don't really have that option on the website.
Oh, like a
It's
perfect.
perfect.
There it
It's
is.
absolutely perfect. Look at this guy.
Let's go.
So I think to go ahead and honor Nick from the Comparative Man Dinner, you should go ahead and do the whole episode wearing that. Yeah, let's
You
do
didn't
it.
tell me
Let's
that.
do
All right. Let's see if my headphones will fit over.
it. You don't need the headphones. You're good.
Yeah, I'll probably be fine. Yeah.
They
good.
almost make it.
You have to go with the ear hole.
There we go.
There it is.
There it is. One of them's fine.
Yeah. I think it's. Yeah. Sure enough.
Well, we also have to say that
If I get tired of this, I'm just gonna take it off. By the way.
no, leave it on. Leave it on.
Gotta
It's going to be a shorter episode. We'll be
This is
good.
a real helmet though, unlike the Drew Brees one.
It's
Yeah,
legit.
it's the real deal.
the
I
real
could,
deal.
I could,
deal.
I could
So-
go take someone out in this.
We got to say though, also shout out Mike Parks and Clint Scroggs.
Oh wow!
They
Yeah.
went in on that with us. So.
Damn guys.
Yeah.
Thank
so
y'all. No, really, this is.
Put our
this
heads
is
together.
amazing. Look at this thing. This is the real deal.
It is. It is. So
Even probably has the little air. Yeah, you could fill it up with the air.
yeah.
All that. You get that.
I think it'll go well with the chain. Hopefully, you can get a few more locks on it for this season. But
This will definitely bring about more locks. Better.
there you go.
Better.
It will help with the whole segment every week.
Yeah.
We'll change it up a bunch.
Yeah.
Well, now that we got the pleasantries out of the way, I guess we can go ahead and talk about the preseason game that happened yesterday.
Yeah, that's good. It's good.
Oh, it's real.
It's
the real deal. It's the real deal.
Nice.
We got one too. So you
Okay.
know,
Okay.
yeah.
So, well, why aren't y'all wearing yours?
It's your moment.
It's
We don't
your
wanna take away
birthday.
From it. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Your birthday exactly a month ago, I think, or almost. Actually, a little bit past exactly a month
Month
ago.
and a couple days. Yeah.
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 That's how long it's been since we've done an episode in studio.
Yeah. You're right. You're
Yeah.
right.
Anyway, on to more positive things. We'll go ahead and talk about, well, actually, more negative things.
just
Talking
adjusting.
about the game yesterday. Who wants to start off? Actually, you know what? You do the honors since you weren't on the last episode. So
Yeah.
you were actually ground zero in the
was.
Superdome, preseason, Corey Mall.
I was there with my twin girls and Lizzie. It was a great. It's like I said before we started. You cannot have that kind of like a kid-friendly experience during the regular season. The ease, the stress-free nature of it, and for the same price. I mean, I paid the same. Like I paid the same price for like a terrace level regular season ticket to get 4 club level seats. You know, it's like, and there's no real consequence. So like, you don't mind if the kids want to go to the bathroom again, or you know, like it was great. But besides that, okay, so.
Well, I see Zach met up with you for a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't even know he was there. We're sitting there texting on our Discord, and for those of you listening and are curious about our Discord, go ahead and join us. We have it out there. Go to actually just hit us up on Twitter. We'll send you a direct link. And but yeah, Zach's exchanging messages with us on the Discord, and then all of a sudden he like came out of the little walkway and was in my row, and I was like, oh look, hey dude, and he showed up with like a whole ass beer for me, and so that was awesome. So shout out Zach on that one. At TrueQB9 on the Twitters. But you know, him and I even talked about it during the game. You know, obviously the first thing we're going to talk about is QB battle. That's because that's the one thing that's going to affect us the most going forward. And you know, look, you can't really. I didn't come away from this, in my opinion, saying, "Oh, Shuck looked good." I don't think he looked good, but at the same time, I don't think overall he looked horrible or bad. I think if you're going to compare his performance versus the Jags ones to Shuck's, compare Shuck's performance versus the Jags ones to Rattler's performance. Yeah, versus the Chargers. I think the performance against somewhat of a first string, I'd give the nod to Shuck. Now, that said, the way Rattler played at the end of this game in the second half, I think Rattler had a stronger game, not just because of the stat line or the box score, but I do think Rattler looked more comfortable in there. And he didn't show the same tendencies that we were afraid had, been plaguing him and weren't going anywhere after we watched the last preseason game. I thought he got the ball quicker than he did against the Chargers. I thought he didn't really have any of the bonehead mistakes. When he did take a sack, he held on to the ball. The interception was not really. I think I think that this is the hair splitting we're doing with this QB competition. We're grading whose interception was worse. I think Shuck's interception was worse because you always have to be wary of that guy jumping a out route. With Rattler, he's should be expecting, it's fair, and even Tipton said it, he's fair to expect the wide receiver to stay low on the slant so the guy can't jump it. And that's kind of what happened on that play. So I think overall in this game, I would give the nod to Rattler. But that said, it just goes to show this is pretty much a dead heat, all things considered. I've seen things run the gamut. I've seen some people say, it's got to be Shuck after this one. Shuck versus ones was better than Rattler versus ones. And then I've seen other people saying, just the way they looked, the eye test, Rattler looked just head and shoulders above Shuck, and you got to go with Rattler. Shuck still got too much rookie in him, still needs time. I don't disagree that Shuck still needs time, but, it's, to me, this game, and I hate to say it, it's still a coin flip, but when in doubt for me, if it is a coin flip, the ceiling's still higher with Shuck, and let him take his lumps early on. But it's a tough call because I think, if what we saw in the second game was more of what Rattler has to offer, that might be more immediately better than what Shuck has to offer.
I think Shuck doesn't have the luxury of time.
Agree.
Yeah. So
we don't have the luxury of time with
as a
Shuck.
team. That's what I mean. Us as a team is not going to give him the luxury of time. Right. So,
what should they?
I don't disagree really with anything Corey said. Rattler clearly had a better game, but that's against Forrest when he had the great drive. That was
because it depends on how you want to look at it. Are we comparing preseason game by preseason game? We're not the coaches. We don't see what they go through in practice. And then there's also the context of what the play call is and what the coach is asking each guy to do. So while what Shuck did in the first half may have looked pretty pedestrian, it's very well possible that he actually executed and graded out better on a coach's perspective.
Well, he actually graded out better on PFF.
I did see
for
that.
Whatever that's worth. He was in the top 5.
Nothing. We scored 3 points. Okay. End of story. He did not play well.
Well, let's throw this out here real quick, though. Through two games, these are the cumulative stats. Shuck, 24-34, 231 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Rattler, 25 of 35, 252, 1 touchdown. They have 1 interception. They are virtually identical. It's a dead heat. I think you go with the guy with a little more upside, and you have to find out if he's worth the shit because you're probably picking top 5 this year coming up.
Look, Rattler's 5th-round pick, no expectations of a 5th-round pick. You spent the 40th pick on Shuck.
Yeah.
You knew he was 26. We all talked about this, and I think Max and I may be a little more heavy on it than Corey was, but Corey also agreed. When you're 26, you're drafted for your maturity and your and your readiness to walk in and play. Because you're 26.
You're not supposed to need as much time, so to speak. So
the situation we're in as being one of the bottom teams, I think, is pretty much the consensus around the league. Obviously anything can happen. But from a roster standpoint, a rebuild standpoint, you need to know if Shuck's the guy this year. We need to know.
Yeah.
Next year he's 27. Next year, presumably, if we have that poor season that most people are expecting, we're going to have a top 5 pick or somewhere around there where there's an ability to take someone high up. We need the information this year. So you don't get time.
Yeah.
You're going in. And I'd be shocked if Kellen Moore isn't thinking the same thing in the Saints organization. I get what they're doing. This is a way to be competitive and make him push, and you absolutely make him earn it, so to speak. But even if he plays worse in the third preseason game, I fully expect him to start week 1. And if he's not, I think it's a mistake. I think we have to find out. There was nothing good out of that game for him to me. He took 2 sacks. He was still backpedaling the pressure.
The sacks, though, were not like he held on to the ball.
He kind of slipped, but he was backpedaling.
The grounding was hard. The grounding sucked. But the first sack was terrible on the O-line's part.
But that's the O-line for the year, too.
No, it's not, because McCoy wasn't in.
McCoy wasn't. Okay. But
and Radens is
he
in
did
for
get
Penning,
beat
so.
once. But he is not responding to pressure, which was my number one worry when we first talked about it. Yeah. When he has time to plant his foot, he's well protected, he's delivering the ball well, he's leading receivers, he's doing all that. If he cannot handle that pressure, it's going to be a turnover fest this year and a sack fest. And we scored 3 points in the first half. So, and he got time against 2s, and we still only had 3 points. I think the performance from Rattler last week was terrible. I think the performance from Shuck overall was terrible. You can't score 3 points in this league and win.
And a half.
Okay, and a half. Especially
so
against
we had 3 points in the first half both weeks.
Both weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Shuck
is responsible.
got it last week because he came in right before half last week, right? So, I mean, you got 6 points in the 2 first halves of the starters. That's terrible. It simply can't be worse than that. We couldn't put drives together.
To be fair, in the first week, there was no Olave, there was no Shaheed, there was no Kamara, there was no McCoy.
Hey, let's put him out there because if he doesn't drop a easy, I mean, it wasn't a great throw, but it's a throw.
It hit him right in the hands.
It hit him in the hands. It was late. He had to stop. I get it. Hit him in the hands. Got to catch that ball, especially if he's going to be wanting money, big money. That's a catch he's got to make.
That drive felt like points were coming.
There's no way.
But that's after the starters were out, that drive. That was the third drive. So, I don't feel good either way. I will feel like we're missing an opportunity if we don't start Shuck from the get-go. We have to see what this guy's got. If he is terrible for 5 weeks and then he starts to get it, that's going to show us something.
Yeah. Right.
That's just where I stand. I think he's got to start.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I've been reading, online, the socials, also in different Discords, and, there's been some debate as to whether should Shuck sit for a few games, throw Rattler out there for the top part of the schedule. There's difference of opinion from the many people in these different communities, but I'm with you. He needs to start from week 1. We need to see him go through the adversity of the quote-unquote rough part of the schedule, which is weeks 1 through 4. We need to see how he responds to it. We need to see him get better in October, get even better in November, and then get even better in December. Like, we have to see that. We need a full 17 games of Shuck so we can, depending on where we pick, we can say, hey, we feel good about where we are with the quarterback, or, man, we really need to pick one of these guys. Because this draft class, it looks better than last year's quarterback draft class.
Our pick
not saying
might
much.
Be higher.
Yeah.
But we can actually go get one of them.
Yeah, and look, as of right now, everything I've seen, and granted, this is 2 preseason games. We haven't seen the first team defense. This past week, it was the second team defense across the board that started the game. But this just looks like a 3 to 5 win team. I am now more on the side of 3 wins. Neither quarterback inspires any confidence at all right now. That being said, Shuck is a rookie. He's had basically just under a full game at this point of playing. I'll cut him a little more slack. Rattler's in his second year. He started, 7 games last year. He should be showing a little bit more. I don't know, man. I don't feel confident at all. This team looks like a 3-win team.
Yeah. I also keep thinking, too, like, how much of the, it's the preseason factor do we need to put into this? I mean, you could look at I believe it in the 06 season when we went to the NFC Championship, we didn't win a single preseason game. Now, granted,
we looked awful, too.
And we looked bad.
Like inept.
But then again, in 09, when we won the Super Bowl,
blew out everybody.
It was just like, okay, we figured it out. We're going to kill everybody. Let's just move on with this.
They were putting up 40 points in preseason
so it's like,
games.
There's, preseason sometimes is just a confirmation of how good you are, and then other times it's a complete, misleading exercise.
It means nothing.
Yeah. And so, and also, too, like, we don't know what more Kellen Moore has in his playbook than what he's shown. We don't, and also, I don't know if it was it wasn't T-Bob, if it was maybe Bushrod or one of the guys talking about the game after the fact was saying, it's actually a big deal that that McCoy was not out there, because he really is the leader of the offensive line. He's going to help make adjustments. So, because one of the big topics of discussion was how horrible Ruiz has looked. And
He's been terrible.
He has looked bad, and that's the most concerning thing out of any O-line issue. And who actually didn't look bad was Radens. Him and
he's much better at left guard than he is at
tackle.
right guard.
He was
right
rough
tackle.
last week at the tackle.
He was fine this week.
At least we've proven you cannot play that man at tackle. But
Landon Young looked a little rough.
Yeah, the second string tackles were rough, but Radens was fine. Him and Banks were actually working really well together, because you could watch the bunch of people put on tape like the NFL All 22, like all of Tyler Shuck's snaps, all of Spencer Rattler's snaps. What you can see from those is the O-line play, and the Jaguars are running a bunch of stunts up front, which maybe it was Bushrod again, like was saying you don't often see that in the preseason. So it was good for our team to get. It was James Hurst had a little clip, and he had really good comments to make, and he was the one that said the thing about McCoy on WDSU. And
the problem with that is he's been out.
He's been
a
hurt
lot of the last
couple
two
years.
seasons.
Yeah.
So
who's that? McCoy. Right. So you hope he stays healthy, but in terms of going up against some stunts, it was encouraging to see the rookie left tackle working well with a guy he just started work with, picking up stunts on the left side.
Yeah.
Because when you flip to the other side with Fuaga and Ruiz, and they haven't played together a whole lot, I guess, but they were not working well with the stunts. When
and apparently
like
the Saints
Travon Walker straight up ran straight into Ruiz.
Well, apparently the Saints had real issues with that during the practices with the Rams this past week.
So they're gonna have to figure that part out. But yeah, there's some things to be said about.
Look,
Ruiz's
man, I'm gonna
play.
say there's a real scenario where Kelvin Banks is the best offensive lineman at midseason. That dude looks good.
So
we got to see if McCoy can stay healthy.
But it all goes to show, I'm hesitant to just say to say that, to change my outlook, and I haven't set a number yet, but to say that the preseason dictates or shows that our win total through a regular season is going to be any different. I'm not saying the regular season that we're going to be some shoe-in playoff team or anything, but I'm still holding judgment as to whether or not what we've seen on 2 exact days over a 30-day training camp period is a reason for why we should adjust our win totals.
Well, the good news is you have a full week. I think about 10 days to go ahead and come up with your win totals.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Season preview episode coming up next week, the highly anticipated.
That's right.
This year it might be on video.
Yeah. I mean,
you're going to get one of the Deacon Jones head slaps right over this thing.
I still give our producer shit about that.
Yeah,
but it was our first attempted
video
episode.
Yeah, it was supposed to be our first video episode. But,
we've done a few since then, so I think it should be fun.
But no, I think I'm not basing any of my prognosis for this season off of the wins or losses or ties of the last 2 games. To me, it's looking at the depth of this team, because our depth is non-existent. If you go down the line position by position, and we've discussed this over and over and over again, the starters are not bad. It's when you get to the second and third guys at each position, that's where it really starts to fall off.
Except the most important position. The starters might be bad.
Yeah.
So,
well, as of right now, they're bad.
You throw that in. I mean, they are.
They're bad.
There's no argument that we're not one of the worst 3 quarterback teams in the league this year. Going into
as of
the
right
season.
now, yes.
Now
absolutely.
that can change. We'll see. I mean, they're young, so you never know. But nothing I've seen whatsoever changes my stance. I've said it for a couple months now.
Yeah.
I don't see the roster that can win games. I think if we won 4, it would be a miracle. Nothing's going to probably change my mind. To course, preseason's preseason. That's how I felt for the last few months. I think this is the get the roster right, get out of some trouble contracts, get ready for next year, hopefully have a high pick. And then you hope Shuck turns out to be a legit starter. If he's not, you use that top pick, get a quarterback, and you start the rebuild right away. I think there have been a few bright spots depth-wise. Max and I touched on it last week. The linebacker position looks deep to me.
Yeah, there's going to be some tough cuts now.
Yeah, the way Ford's playing,
Stallbird,
Stutzman's had moments like
Stutzman looks good.
It looks like a deep
PBU.
room. Yeah, looks like a good room now, and that was a weakness last year.
Yeah.
We said we were worried about it because we brought in Gay. That didn't work out great. So that looks good. Defensive line, I think, still a huge question mark. We just traded Kalen Saunders away.
Yeah.
Not that we didn't see where he fit. There you go. He's
on a
gone.
football
It makes total
perspective.
sense.
On a football perspective, it's hard to say it has an effect, but
Well, it's one person who's going to get cut
But-
for another person who
but
is
man-
probably going to get cut.
love me some Bank.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
on a personal fan perspective, it's tough to see him go, but on a football perspective,
We knew he didn't
We knew it.
fit
He
anymore.
doesn't fit the 3-4.
Yeah.
And look, they need more offensive line depth. It looks like the guy that they traded
Fortner
Bink for.
looks good.
You know, I mean, I think he started 34 games over the last couple of years. You know, I want to say he was a second or third round pick.
Yeah.
He's like 26 or 27 years old.
Yeah.
It's worth a shot.
Worth a shot. That being said, he's basically a 1-for-1 replacement for Will Clapp. But now,
You said you think he's getting cut for sure? Is that what you
well,
said?
there was speculation with the Jags that he had kind of fallen out of favor and probably wasn't going to make the team.
Oh, for them. Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought you meant we were just
No.
gonna cut.
No, he might not make
Okay.
the team here, but
I
we'll
think-
see.
I
But
think he probably does.
here's a question though. So you know we've already talked about Kelvin Banks, the first pick in the draft, who has looked good so far. We need to talk about Torricelli Simpkins, who's the undrafted rookie free agent center/guard that we picked up, and he played the whole damn game basically yesterday
He's
as the center.
looking awesome.
Looks good. He got highlighted by I think it was Ross Tucker, who was one of the guys, you know, on Twitter who knows his stuff about the offensive linemen. So whenever he highlights somebody, it's usually a good sign. You know, this guy is apparently a beast.
Yeah.
And look, I think he's pretty much locked his spot in on the team.
He plays like it.
Well, here's my question though. So the guy we traded for from the Jags, does this mean Torricelli Simpkins stays at center? Does he maybe slide over to guard and possibly take on Ruiz? I don't know.
If we're doing conventional football math, it would dictate that Simpkins would slide over to guard. But then again, you never know. We don't know what the coach is like out of him at which position. But I mean, he came in as a guard. I believe he was.
I'd love to see him take on Ruiz and get that dude
if
out
he
of here.
plays guard with the same level
That's
of
probably a
intensity
next
that he,
year thing, though.
It's a next year thing,
Yeah.
but if you can beat him out this year,
well, it's
It
kinda
won't
like-
happen out the
It's
gate.
kind of like
Oh, no,
we
no.
said with Shuck and Rattler, based on who plays. Like, you hope it's a next year thing, because if it's a this year thing where Simpkins replaces Ruiz, that's not a good thing.
why do you say that? Ruiz has looked terrible.
But I mean,
he's arguably been the worst lineman.
it's a bad thing because it means Ruiz would have to be that bad, and we would have had
but Ruiz already looks that bad.
we would have had to find that out the hard way. Now, look, it's a good thing.
I mean, they're already seeing it.
but it's a bad thing in that it's lower than what we expected to have. You know, it's not a good thing when someone you re-signed last year, 2 years ago, to a multi-year lucrative contract, and who was one of your first-round draft picks is playing so poorly,
beaten out by an
to
undrafted
where
free agent.
undrafted free agent has to come in for him. Like, that's not a good
Well, hold
thing.
on. I'm going to push back with your guy, Marcus Colston. 7th round pick, a few picks away from being an undrafted rookie free agent.
Right.
He didn't
Pushes
beat
out
out.
a former first round pick in Dante Stallworth. They traded him after seeing like a week
Yeah.
or two of training camp. So look,
At
there
the
is a flip
time,
side where maybe the
right.
guy is actually good enough to, and it's not a bad thing.
The
'cause he's a
best
young
case
player.
scenario is that you hope it means you found some, gem like a Colston.
The best case
story.
scenario is they're both good.
Yeah.
None of us think Ruiz is good.
He's
We
not
just
looking
had
like
been
it.
hoping he would be serviceable.
He's
He
gotten
does not
better.
look serviceable.
He became serviceable. I understand in camp he has not been, but he's been serviceable the last couple years. He did not deserve the contract he gave him, but what else is new with us in offensive line pay? That's what we do. We overpay all of them just because they're in the system, I guess. But I don't think you want him to beat him out. You want him to beat him out towards the end of the year when the year's out of hand and it's a moving on from Ruiz in the offseason, and have a guy making no money be a starter would be fantastic.
I'd rather him beat him out now. Fuck it. I'm fine. Whoever's better, let them play. Ideally, you
I
want them both
agree.
to
I'm
be
just
good,
saying
but
it's not going to happen.
You want all
probably
of-
won't, but-
I mean, the ideal scenario for any team is that every single player on your team plays to their absolute
Yeah, but that's not gonna happen.
utmost potential. It won't ever happen. It's just like like pitching a perfect game every time. It's not going to happen.
Right.
But you.
I want
so
that
you-
contract off the books.
You want Ruiz to be playing at the max of Ruiz's potential, and you would think that Ruiz playing at his best would blow out of the water Simpkins playing at his best. Now,
it
maybe
should, but Ruiz has never played to his potential.
right, and so you're dealing with that. I think if
Ruiz and Penning, neither one of them have played to their
do
potential.
they need
yet.
time? Is it, is Ruiz really that much better when McCoy's in there? McCoy's been covering up for Ruiz's deficiencies by McCoy setting Ruiz in the right place, maybe. But, I mean, I don't know. I mean, at least it shows, hopefully, if nothing else, that you hope Ruiz doesn't have a complete falling off. It looks like he's on his way. But that Simpkins at least offers the much-needed depth at O-line, because right now it's looking non-existent.
Hey, man, I hope Simpkins can keep doing what he's doing,
Yeah.
and then maybe he can be the guy that replaces him.
Yeah.
But, while we're talking about rookies, I think we can go ahead and highlight that the rest of the rookie draft class is looking really promising.
Oh, yeah.
I think all of them, if you go down the line, like Fadil Diggs, I don't know how you say his first name.
Fadil, yeah.
Yeah, he's looked damn good. Sanker popped up this week, had
good.
an interception at the end of the game. Quincy Riley's looks solid. It's this rookie class looks
Stutzman.
pretty decent.
Yeah.
I hate that we're not able to see Neal, the running back.
Yeah.
He's been hurt pretty much the entirety of camp, and it sucks that we haven't seen him, because there's a big chance he could come in and take. I think Akers is not going to make the team. Right now, if you had to say the four, if there's four, you're looking at Kamara. I think Kendre Miller's your two. You're going to say Velus Jones Jr. probably makes it at this point, and probably Clyde Edwards.
Clyde makes it because he's good at pass protection.
Exactly.
Right. So that's
Clyde's
your
been playing
four?
out of his mind. Clyde has been thumping people in pass protection.
Yeah, but imagine if Neal could just show anything, man. He could really, make his mark on this season, and it just sucks that we haven't had a chance to see him.
Yeah.
Marcus Yarns, the undrafted guy, we really haven't seen much at all of him. He looks like a practice squad.
He hasn't
guy
I don't think he's gotten any carries. He played against the Chargers.
He got
but I don't think he actually got a carry.
He got a catch yesterday because he fumbled it.
Oh, nice.
He bobbled it at least. It
Strong.
wasn't- I was like, oh, there's Yarns. Oh, that's Yarns. But no, Stutzman looks. I think Stutzman looks really good.
He's fit right in. I mean, I don't know if they played a 3-4 at Oklahoma, but he looks comfortable out there. He's just playing ball, and he he comes across as one of these just like people say it in a pejorative sense sometimes, like, oh, football guy over there. I don't care. Stutzman looks like a football guy. All things football guy.
That's the neck roll,
I'm here
the
for
mustache.
What we have to see is when he's
there's
playing
that,
against actual starters,
there's that video-
does his pace keep up or does it not?
I mean,
That's all you can find.
He started both weeks.
At least we
so-
know he's depth at this point. But
We have
Yeah.
not played once, dude.
But I like
We
him.
played-
I like him. He's in a perfect scenario for a rookie linebacker because you got DeMario and
You're learning
Warner.
from him, yeah.
The pressure will not really be on him unless one of those guys goes
but
down.
Same goes with the other guys, Ford and everyone else we have.
Ford looks good.
Ford looks athletic. I don't know. He's looked better than Stutzman to me.
Stutzman's just as athletic though. That he's pretty
mean,
damn
I think
athletic.
they're-
Ford looks legit. I don't know. Could be
They're
total
di-
bullshit.
they're
No, Ford was really good coming out of Texas.
They're different.
So,
it's basically his rookie year, essentially.
'Cause he was
he
out
was
of
hurt a
last
lot
year.
last year.
He
so.
was hurt so much.
Look, there's some decent young talent that can develop. I mean, has the potential to develop. I'm not saying they will, but there's the potential. Now I can look at a roster and go, okay, that guy's in his second year. He looks like he has something. He could be something. You know what I mean?
It's kind of like what we talked about, or
Like Stallbird's in his second year.
What has been referenced a lot with the pitfalls of the Dennis Allen era, that he kept bringing in these assistants that were just looking for their next stepping stone into a higher position instead of being true position coaches. You had guys in the safety room or the linebacker. I mean, we had decent linebacker coaches, but the D-line, for instance, if you were a young D-lineman, you weren't learning shit with Todd Grantham at D-line coach, because all Todd
Wasn't he a
Grantham,
Georgia guy?
yeah, he was our DC for a while, and I hated it when he was there. But our coach at the time, Rick, I think it was Rick. Yeah, I don't think he was ever on to Kirby. Rick was too loyal to him, didn't cut bait with him until it was too late.
Imagine that. Rick never won anything.
Yep. And great coach at getting you into like top 5 of the rankings every year, but not winning.
He won a lot of games.
Yeah, he won a lot of games, but
not so
just
easy to
didn't-
win titles.
Didn't crack it like Kirby did. But the point is, like, I hope that Kellen Moore continues to bring in good staffers, because from all reports, his position coaches have been blowing it out the water too. They're all really popular with the players. You heard Cam Jordan talking about Bo Davis at the D line, and the linebacker coach had head coaching experience in college or defensive coordinator experience in college. I forget the DB's coach, but you just hope that the coaches are as good as they say they are, because that means your young guys are not going to regress under them, unlike a position coach who's just going through the motions because he really wants to be a D coordinator one day.
Right.
So that's a big factor in it too. But yeah, I mean, but so far as what we can see, the rookies, the draft picks have been looking good.
Yeah, so far for I mean, again, y'all know my thoughts on preseason. It's all bullshit. We get all amped up. I mean, we haven't even talked about Tipton, and Tipton is like showing out.
He barely showed out last year in practice. We didn't see him in one preseason.
All of this, to quote Max from the last episode, is with a full shaker of salt. That was a good one.
Yeah.
So it's with that shaker of salt of it being preseason. Like, that's over all of this.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's like when you play a bad team. Everyone's like, oh, you beat a bad team 42-10. It's like, well, we did what we're supposed to do. Yeah. Okay? Like, it doesn't mean that we're less good. Now, Saints of last year,
I don't know that we've done what we're supposed to do the preseason.
Well, here's the thing, though.
It's preseason. All you can do is go out on the field and play.
Yeah,
and
you're looking for some semblance of a flash. And I'm going to use Corey's favorite player, Isaiah Foskey, as an example.
I was just about to say.
Foskey played the whole damn game against the Chargers and did not show a single
yesterday. Look at the box score.
He got three tackles yesterday.
So he got on the stat sheet.
He got on there, yeah.
But that's my point, though. He's a perfect example of guys who can hurt themselves in preseason by not doing what you're supposed to do.
He's playing future UPS and Amazon delivery guys, and this dude couldn't get on the stat sheet until yesterday. You know what I mean? So, that's why, yes, we do need to take everything with a grain of salt that Stutzman does against the second team.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go with this.
He's showing something.
But real quick, 2 games in, those flashes you're talking about, who has flashed for you where makes you feel good about a player as a real contributor? Not like, Banks. Oh, he'll make the roster.
Kelvin Banks, number one.
Yeah,
Banks.
Banks, absolutely. I feel great about Banks.
I think it's Banks far and away, because the fact that we haven't talked about him until after games.
Exactly. It's great news.
Because, you don't talk about Kelvin Banks till the game's over, and you're seeing that there's been no pressures allowed, no sacks on his side, etc. Now, Simpkins might get some love during the game because, on that was it Shuck or I think it was Rattler that did the QB run where Simpkins cleared out the hole by himself, which was awesome. It's like clear to the left, clear to the right. Yeah. Okay, QB run through. You talk about him because of that kind of play. Mm-hmm. So we haven't really seen plays from Banks where he's just mauling people, but he's holding up. Even if it's for one play, but he kept Trevon Walker in a box. Kept the other guy from Jacksonville on the other side, kept him in a box. That's nothing to scoff at, even for 1 or 2 plays. So kudos to him. I think. Yeah,
to me, he's a full-on. I think he's the best offensive lineman on the team by the end of the year.
He's been so good as a rookie contributor, where there was not one before, that you almost have to look, I think, to the rest of the gang. Who else besides him has contributed that in a spot where there was not a contributor before? Maybe not a rookie, but it sounds by all accounts like is it Justin or Julian Blackman?
Blackman looks fantastic.
He hasn't played much in the games, but there are 3 straight practices where he had an INT.
I think it was 4.
Well, really? Well, one of them was against the Rams too, and so he's been a great pickup. He's a contributor where you kind of were faltering on that last year.
We haven't seen Justin Reed yet either.
But I think I would say Sanker would be next in terms of flashes. He hasn't had the volume of stats, but anytime he hasn't been on the field much. I feel like they put him in so late in these games, but he's got that
he's a missile,
quote, different type of look and ability to him. He's jumping over receivers.
Yeah, I want to know why he's not coming in till late in the game. Yeah. I mean, especially with Reed not playing, why is he not playing a little more?
Howden started yesterday.
Maybe they're getting enough out of Sanker from camp.
I mean, Howden actually played okay yesterday too.
We don't have the inside info from camp, so we're gonna do our guesses, which is what we love to do here. Some might call it speculative, but that's a terrible term.
A lot of podcasts do that.
Terrible term. How dare we speculate? But I would say with
our
Sanker,
big flash is
maybe it's the fact that he's shown them enough in practice. Maybe they want to get enough. They know they're going to keep him and play him and all that good stuff. So maybe they're playing the other guys to say, we need to make a decision on you, keep you or cut you. I
think Banks is obviously the one. That's the one that's going to make a huge impact this year. He has to. We talked about it after the draft that he has to be a home run or it's a total whiff. He's a top 10 pick.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. I think Sanker is going to get some real minutes, by the end of the season. And to me, Stutzman, he's going to force his way on the field, and I think he's going to push off somebody surprising like Nephi Sewell. I can see Stutzman pushing that dude off the roster.
It's basically like he could, as of now, unless they have some kind of exotic defense look, he would only come in to give DeMario or Warner a blow.
That's what I say. I don't know if he's a huge contributor this year.
Yeah, unless there's
I think by the end of the year, you're going to see him in there. Someone's going to get hurt.
Unless they have some super nickel package where the nickel is the linebacker.
Yeah.
Which might just be a base. I don't know.
It's called the 4-3.
I don't know.
The other ones are I think, they're depth at this point. They're special teamers.
Yeah,
Who
I agree. Even Tipton, look, I got to give him
I
all
don't
credit.
believe anything until I see Tipton do it in the regular
Yeah,
season.
but those are contested catches. Those are tough catches. He's getting separation. He's looked very good, but it's not against starters. So I think he's on the team again. I think
do
he
too.
makes the active roster for sure, and I don't think that was a given coming into the season. But again, I don't think he's a massive contributor this year.
I don't think so
Because
either.
the talk right now is Tipton our number 3 now?
No. No.
And I think that's maybe
You know your number. You know your top 3.
Yeah.
They're fighting for those last couple spots, and whether we keep a 6th, right? Bub going down. helped
Cedric
his,
Wilson, they're all apparently has locked up his spot too.
Pettis should have too. Pettis has played great. So is that them?
The
Is that
best thing
six?
that Wilson is doing that our backups did not do last year is catch the ball.
Yeah. But our
Like-
starters aren't.
God, that Olave drop was so frustrating because it takes away some reps from Shuck where he really needed to show
Where he was actually moving the
the
ball.
situational reps. One thing I didn't mention while we're on the topic with receivers, and I didn't mention it with the quarterbacks, but with Shuck, one might be a big edge in Kellen Moore's eyes given the way his offense runs. Remember how much the Eagles last year torched us on crossing routes? Just absolutely killed us. And it's hard for any defense for a corner if it's man coverage for a cornerback to keep up with a fast crossing receiver. It's almost harder than a go route. One thing Shuck's done that I didn't see out of Rattler, or I didn't even see it out of Carr last year, is putting the ball where the receiver can catch it while he's still running. He
leads his receivers very well.
He's done that every time.
When there's zero pressure.
Yeah.
I think he's done it in pressure a couple times this year too, and it's a small thing. It might be nuanced, but I think it's a big deal.
We're not getting the full look until McCoy's
know.
in there with him.
Yeah. I mean,
but
We're just not.
But the receivers have also done a good job of facilitating those play calls. Shaheed did it.
So you were the man on the field yesterday.
Yeah.
Which Juwan Johnson didn't play.
I didn't see him play,
right?
no.
Okay, so Trayton Welsh, who was on the practice
that was a hell
squad.
of a catch.
I mean,
That was a hell of a catch.
That catch was, and he was
He's
hurt.
a second-year guy.
He was hurting right after that thing too. Like he put his body on the line. I mean, great throw, great
It was
catch.
a great catch.
You know,
no, that
but-
dude, second-year guy. I looked him up.
Yeah,
After
what was
the
his
game.
history? Did we bring him in like?
No, he was on the. I want to say he was on the Browns for a practice squad.
I don't even remember.
He was on our practice squad.
I don't even remember it being announced when we brought him in. Was he one of the guys we brought in when we cut?
Corey,
Deckers?
they announce it, but they don't. It's very under the radar. You're not gonna. They don't put a big press release out like, oh hey, this guy did this and this.
They usually, I don't know. Sometimes they get headlines for like the most mundane things ever.
Look,
like,
Lance Moore was one of those afterthought pickups off the waiver wire going onto the practice squad. Ironically, also with the Browns, and I think Welch was with the Browns for a little bit. He's athletic, though. I was reading about him and his scouting report and all that. I want to see more of him. I know what Juwan is. You know what I mean?
He played
We know what
decent last
Juwan
week,
is. I
too.
want to see more of Trayton Welch this week. See what he's got.
Yeah,
Man. As of right now, he's on the roster.
one guy that got a few snaps at the end was Jacobson, 6'7", dude, former basketball player.
Yeah, but this dude flashed a little bit.
Oh no, I mean like he was in with the first string.
That catch was a flash. That's the definition of a flash.
Yeah, he was in with the ones. He did his job for sure. But I'm saying like
He's on the team as of
if
right
we're talking
now.
under the radar, like well he has to be. I mean you got Juwan and then nobody.
Yeah, and then I think I'm excited about Kendra Miller this year. This is going to come back to bite me in the ass.
yeah, it
God
is.
damn it,
But I really
You wrote him off last year completely.
Max. Just to counteract you, I think he still sucks. Kendra is horrible. He has not been running well at all.
I agree with Max in that what you feel like you see
You can't
is
jinx
like
double jigs.
he looks quick and then you look at the stats and you're like 3.2 a carry.
But that's because our line wasn't doing
the
shit
line's
for
not doing
him.
anything for him.
I hear
The
you,
key
but-
stat with
That changes when McCoy goes in.
The key
Now,
stat
how
with
long McCoy's in, we don't
Kendre
know.
this preseason should be yards after contact because he's killing it in that category. He's getting hit
Man,
at the line.
That dude,
So the fact that he got any
We'll
positive
see.
yards,
that dude
We'll see.
athletically is as good as you're getting on this team as far as a skill position player. He's like 6 feet. He's about 220. He's
talking
got
about-
good speed. He's explosive.
so you're putting him ahead of a lot. I get what you're saying.
I'm talking size and speed
okay,
combo.
because I'm like Olave and Shaheed are on this team as well.
Well, they're faster, obviously, but they're not big guys.
Taysom Hill.
Okay, Taysom's a
doesn't count.
unicorn, but he doesn't. Well, Taysom doesn't count. He's not playing right
But
now.
I agree with he's big. No, people forget
In the running back room.
People forget his measurables. He's like 220, 215.
He's 220, dude.
Yeah,
He's big and he's fast.
all of 5'11", like maybe 6 foot.
He's 6 feet. He's
Yeah.
about 220, and that dude is big and fast. And when he's focused and actually knows the plays,
Yeah.
he looks different than the rest of them.
I mean,
obviously not talking about Kamara. And then when Kendrick was a rookie and was talking about he was coming to take Kamara's job, ridiculous.
we all knew.
We all knew,
that
obviously.
Yeah.
He looks like he's putting it together, and he's only 23. He just turned 23.
Look, we don't know anything.
I think Devin Neal's 24.
But
just think about that for
my
a minute.
fan take on the visuals from him.
The visuals are there.
He's passing the eye test on the field, but even when they pan to him on the sideline, when you've heard him in some limited interviews thus far this year, he seems to have the right attitude about him. It's a far cry from exactly what you were saying. His demeanor this year has been the opposite of. I remember that immediate draft interview. He was like on some rooftop having a party with no shirt on and a jacket, and he had all the chains. And look, if that's your look, that's your look. I'm not hating that.
He was 20.
But it was like, yeah, I'm not like blaming him for living life. Like, you do you. But I mean, that's what.
Here's the deal.
He's only on the weekends.
He just turned 23, and I looked it up. I apologize, Devin Neal. You are 22. I misspoke.
I'm sure he's offended.
Yeah, Kendra Miller is only 23. He's still young. If he's figured it out,
I guess the way to
I need him to play the Mark Ingram role to Kamara's Kamara role.
The way to say it with less breath is he's got more of a sense of maturity about him this year.
I like that they talked about it on the broadcast. You didn't hear it because you were at the game. They talked about it on the broadcast that he was very purposeful in changing his number this year.
Yeah,
he switched over to number 5.
I rewatched it last night.
It's a sign of new beginnings. He wanted a fresh start, all that, saying all the right things. Yeah. New number, new me, all that stuff. So.
I did actually. I watched the replay.
But no, early things already looks good.
As to further solidify my status as a preseason sicko, I watched the replay of the game last night after I got home.
Oh, you got problems.
You got
real problems.
You got real.
I had to see if when you're at the game, sometimes you feel like maybe you didn't catch everything. So I wanted to, because I didn't have a good sense leaving the stadium. I was like, well, did Shuck really look as bad as I thought he did? And it wasn't as bad, but it wasn't good.
You're just trying to talk yourself out of it. That's all.
I went back to look, and it was pedestrian at best. And then I was like, did Rattler look as good as it seemed like he looked? Because the crowd there was almost nobody there at the end, except for me, my kids, and like 10 other people. But from the little bit of crowd that was there, you would have thought we just won a playoff game at the end.
Well, let's go ahead and wrap this episode up with, what are you looking for out of Game 3? We'll start with you.
My first instinct would be give me another run of Shuck versus Rattler, but I think that's just going to give us the same result. It would be nice to see them both play with the ones. I think that's pie in the sky scenario. But like if you did a drive with one, drive with the other, but you can't really. There's no continuity there. I mean, I think the third preseason game used to be a dress rehearsal. Now,
yeah, like the starters wouldn't even play.
But I feel like they're almost some are handling it like the fourth preseason game now. So,
yeah, now the starters usually don't play. So
yeah, because it's the last game.
Well, let me say this. So Scott in our Discord, he was saying, he'd like to see go ahead and announce the starter, give them a full week of prep, and then let them prep with the starters this week, and then let it carry into the regular season. I'm with him. That would be my move. Go ahead and name a starter. Whoever it's going to be needs reps, and we need to stop splitting this up. I don't want to fucking see Jake Haener ever again playing football.
I don't want to see Haener in this game.
So go ahead and announce the starters, play them.
I would almost prefer to see, instead of doing half by half, do like 2 series at a time with both of them. It's hard to say play the ones because you're just testing that.
You want to see the competition continue in full.
I do not. I want to see Shuck play the entire game. That would be my goal.
That's what I would go for.
Yeah. Again, I've seen enough.
I've seen enough too.
Let's let Shuck lose his first 7 starts, and then we'll call it even.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
yeah,
I just personally
they're dead even. So go with the young.
I have not seen Rattler do anything in all of that playing time that makes me say he should get a second shot when you just drafted a guy as high as you did.
Agree.
That's the only reason.
Yeah.
I think Rattler's probably going to be a backup here for a pretty long time. I think he has talent. It just doesn't. It hasn't translated to where I see a guy that can start. Yeah. So if he's not that, let's move on.
Yeah.
Get the new guy in there. He's got to play. Period.
Yeah.
Got to play.
I'm with Nick. I think if it's me, I announce Shuck as a starter. Today's Monday. I would announce it tomorrow and say, this is the guy. We're rallying behind him. We're going to get him all the preparation. Let him play the whole damn game. Stetson Bennett played the whole damn game the other day.
Stetson looked awesome, by the way. I know he's my guy, but he has been looking awesome. Bring him in. Y'all were talking about last episode. Y'all were talking about trading Rattler for
They're
somebody.
not letting him go. Stafford's got
I know
a back problem.
He's playing better than Jimmy G. Motherfucker.
It's not saying much.
I know.
Anyway,
yeah. Anyway,
just to put a bow on what I was saying, I agree with Nick 100%. Announce Shuck as a starter tomorrow. Go ahead and play him for the entire third preseason game. I don't need to see Rattler. I don't need to see Hainer. I know exactly what both of them are.
yeah. See, I got a slightly different take. I mean, not because I think
You'd be cool with Rattler starting week 1. Like you see a path
at
there.
this point, I guess I'm become like.
Because I feel like if
I
you
think
are,
I've
you're
become-
saying we fucked up with Shuck.
I'm not saying I see a path with Rattler. I just think the play from both of them, if you're looking for like an NFL starter, has been so uninspiring. I've become like agnostic to it. I mean, like we
messed up with you.
We messed up. Then we completely fucked up.
I told Zach at the game last night. I was like, if someone asked me for this Rattler versus Shuck competition in a word, it's Shatler. It's like we're Shatlering our pants. I mean, because like they both look so pedestrian.
Look, you know my stance. I hated
think
the pick.
They're both playing,
None of us like to pick at 40. Let's be fair.
They're both to me right as of now, as of this day, we have 2 backups. I don't think we have an NFL starter on this roster right now. We have 2 backups. Now that said, if you're going to say, well, who's got the highest ceiling? Play the guy with the highest ceiling. It's Shuck. That's the thing with me.
I don't even care about the ceiling as much as I already know Rattler's not it, so I need to know that Shuck's not it, so I can move on if I have to.
Exactly.
That's where I'm at.
This is a 3-win team.
Yeah.
We have to know.
Yeah. Ironically enough, the best thing that one QB has going for him against the other is that he has not started NFL games. It's usually the inverse.
Right.
So in this case, like if Shuck had started NFL games last year, if he was a second-year dude and we had just brought him in, they'd be the same exact dude. So the only
If you flip him and Rattler's a rookie, I would be saying play Rattler right now.
Yeah.
Start Rattler, announce him.
It has
as
nothing to
starter.
do with like either one as him the person. It's just it's just been uninspiring play from both of them. So it's tough. We're just in a tough spot at that position.
Okay, so we're on the side of go ahead and announce Shuck as a starter, play the whole game. You're on the side of continue the competition.
If there was a way
50-50, split it down the middle.
If there was a way to split two and two drives, if there was a way to do that, which probably isn't.
I don't like it because you're just delaying the inevitable. He was a hand pick quarterback at pick 40.
If this was in the old preseason schedule where you had preseason week 4 and you had a week until you don't. I would be 100% on board with what y'all are saying, but because there's that extra week before the regular season, I don't think you have as much pressure to name a starter before this next preseason game. I think you got an extra week. You can.
I think they need as much prep time as possible.
Well, they do, but they don't have that luxury. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't care if they announce it. I hope they're doing it. I hope he's getting the first team reps, is acting as the one in practice this week, going in the last game and the week after, leading up to the season, the bye week before the season. He needs to be put in and installed, and we need to start to figure out what he does best and try.
He's got to build up more of a rapport with the starting receivers and running backs.
Put it under some different logic. If the rookie at this point is looking just as good as the guy who's got a year under his belt, maybe you go with the rookie. So
that's what
you'd say that. All right.
With that, we'll go ahead and wrap up this episode. Next week, we will be back. It's going to be a little bit later in the week. We're going to record on Wednesday. That will be the season preview episode. All cuts will be final as of Tuesday afternoon, a week from tomorrow. So we're going to strap it in and go ahead and bring the heat for a long episode. I'm sure Corey's going to have his...
starting now!
Corey's going to have his annual hot takes. What was your hot take last year? I don't remember.
Marcus May, third tackles? Or
that was the year before. That was awful.
Trevor Penning was going to be a starter.
So we're going to need more of that.
Yep, he nailed that one.
Yeah.
Penning was decent last year. Serviceable.
So, that being said, we are not going to have a review episode of next week's game, or this week's game, I should say. We're just going to jump right into the season preview on the next recording. So, that should be dropping, hopefully, a week from Thursday.
Yeah.
Looking at producer over here with the helmet on.
Getting strapped in. Ready for next episode.
There it is.
Let's do it.
And with that, we'll go ahead and wrap up this episode. Thank you for listening to the 28-3 podcast. Who dat?
Who dat?